Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and joining me as my guest today is Melanie Cox, who chaired the Seniors First Initiative. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you very much, County Executive Gardner, and thank you again for the opportunity to be a part of such an important project. Your foresight and recognizing the increasing needs of seniors throughout your term and during your campaign is very important to many of us in the community. And we know this was a continuation of your leadership task force, and that is when we identified that with the growing senior need, the issue of having a champion for seniors was extremely important. And then once you establish the Seniors First Task Force as a continuation of that, that was really a lot of what we focused on. You know, how do you champion the needs of seniors? We know the population is going to at least double over the next 20 years. We know by the year 2020 that we will have more seniors than we have children in school. And over that same time frame, those individuals 85 and older are going to quadruple.
Yeah, it's an incredible statistic.
That really is. And when you think about the needs of individuals that are 85 and older, when we looked at Seniors First, we decided that not all seniors are the same. So we established 3 groups of seniors. We established the healthy and well, those that are isolated and at risk, and those that are frail, and that they each have different needs, but those groups overlap, and individuals move back and forth through those groups. But it's in the frail and elderly, and also in the isolated, that the needs begin to increase. And most of us, if we live long enough and don't have a sudden illness, will have some period of frailty. So addressing all of those groups and recognizing that if we've got a group that is going to quadruple, that there's going to be a huge need within the county.
Yeah, I think you described the demographic very accurately. And, you know, we're fortunate as we're aging because we're both doing that.
We are both doing that.
And we're part of that silver tsunami.
Right.
That we really do have to put together a plan. And that's what the Seniors First Initiative was all about, was putting together a plan and really rethinking and reshaping how we're going to deliver services to seniors in various phases of their senior life. And one of the things that I think is a real opportunity for us is to try to engage active seniors in the community, not just in helping with meeting needs in senior services, but in whatever area people are interested in. You know, a lot of people are retiring in their 60s. They really have a lifetime of knowledge, experience, and expertise that they want to engage somehow in the community. Some people want to work. Some people want to do meaningful volunteer work. I mean, you're certainly a model of meaningful volunteer work yourself, being involved in Seniors First Initiative and a number of other things in the community. And, you know, you worked in, you have a background in taking care of seniors. So you bring that knowledge and expertise to the discussion. And so I think that's an opportunity. And then,
well, when you're talking about the well and healthy elderly, there's also the issue of helping them to stay well and healthy for as long as they possibly can. That's and right. You know, we're learning more all the time about how to help. How do we stay healthy? What are the things that work in terms of maintaining that sense of wellness? So that's also an important component.
It is an important component. So one of the key recommendations of the Senior First Initiative was really looking at creating a division within county government and bringing different parts of county government together that serve seniors, you know, whether it's with health needs from the health department, the Department of Aging, that is really the core group with federal funding and Meals on Wheels and other services, and our transportation component. And so people need to be able to get out of the house. That's part of that isolated discussion. And then we have the affordable housing issue, which, happens on the whole age continuum, but really becomes a bigger issue when people are living on a fixed income for maybe longer than they expected.
Right. And I think an important thing out of the report in terms of a recommendation, especially when you're talking about housing and transportation, are those public-private partnerships. That there are individuals out there, there are resources out there, as we've learned through best practices as we went through the project, of what are other communities doing, that encouraging public-private partnerships, especially in the area of housing, is extremely important. And during the project, a couple of the things that we did that we felt were very strong had to do with focus groups, both with staff and seniors in the community. We went out to various areas across the county. We went into Brunswick, we went into Middletown, we went into Thurmont and other areas throughout the city and really talked to the seniors. And it was the issue of transportation, especially door-to-door transportation, and the issue of housing, that both of those really stood out in terms of what they saw as the need. From the standpoint of the staff, they talked about what should our senior centers be like.
Right.
They've seen those centers change over the years. So that really led to the recommendation about looking at parks and recreation. That came directly from the staff. Can they help in the area of activities to keep our seniors functioning as high a level as possible?
Well, that was a great and I think somewhat easy recommendation to move forward, because our Park and Rec staff has a lot of great programs, a lot of facilities. They can design exercise programs and recreation for seniors, but they also do a lot of things that I don't think people realize. I mean, they have cooking classes and a lot of other events and programs that help that isolated population connect to people and be interested and engaged in the community. But of course, keeping moving, I think, is key to longevity. There's one thing that's key. So I think engaging Parks and Recs in trying to take over the programming for that recreational and exercise component makes perfect sense.
Right. And another key recommendation as you talk about that is we need to measure what the needs are. And then we need to see how are we doing in meeting those needs so that we can really identify quantifiably what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be improved, to have an integral performance improvement component in the new division that was recommended as a part of this project. In terms of being accountable to the taxpayers in the county, if we can demonstrate the effective results of something that is put into place, that really helps to justify to our other citizens that this is something that's important for the county to do.
Well, and a lot of other things we're doing play into that. Retaining citizens in Montague and having that assisted living option for people who can't afford to pay for assisted living but really don't need nursing home care. Helping people to stay in their homes, getting those assessments done through the Adult Evaluation and Review Service Program that's through the Health Department, and expanding Meals on Wheels so that people have food and nutrition. Every time we seem to think we have caught up with the demand for Meals on Wheels, we have a new waiting list, a new need for more routes. We certainly need volunteers to deliver those meals, but we need to look at more ways to find new sources of preparation for the food and more efficient and different ways to deliver it. And so we want to make sure that people stay healthy and have access to the food they need. And sometimes, families come home to visit their parents because we live far apart from each other nowadays, and they find out that their parents really do need that nutritional assistance to keep them healthy and in their homes. And I think if you talk to anybody over the age of 65, they would tell you that at the end of the day, they want to stay at home.
They want to stay at home. That is correct.
And they want to age in place. So part of our challenge is to help them do that.
Right. To have them remain, and also to really look creatively at what does it mean to age in place. It might not be the exact house that they lived in because of the difficulty in stairs, but it can still be in that same community.
Right. Very, very true. So the report is online. People can go to the Frederick County webpage. Seniors First will put the webpage up on the screen to get a copy of the report. Are there any other highlights you'd like to point to?
I think you alluded to this somewhat, but the importance of volunteers, the importance also of technology, both in terms of data collection and establishing of metrics, but also how can we better use technology to communicate with our seniors and their caregivers. So I would just encourage people to look at the report. They don't want to go through the entire report and all 33 recommendations. They could certainly go to the executive summary to give them a sense of the challenges and also the opportunities that we have in this community.
Well, we thank you for your time, and to all the other committee members and to all the staff who participated in the Seniors First initiative. It does lay out a foundation for how we can move forward to plan for this growing senior population, take advantage of the opportunities, and make sure that we meet the demand in our community so that people can age in place, age with dignity, and have the highest quality of life they can possibly have.
And again, we thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Learn a little bit more about the Seniors First initiative. If we're also fortunate to become seniors, we want to make sure that we plan for it and you can be part of that solution. So we can use you as a volunteer in whatever your interest area is to bring your knowledge and expertise to bear on community issues. Thank you for joining us.